you checked out all the new handicappers at Wager Talk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at Wager Talk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to wagertalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.
Happy Friday, guys, and welcome in right here to Wager Talk TV. You're watching Puck Time, and guys, it has been a successful week here. Lots of winners given out. Let's try and finish this week off on a great note. We have 3 games we're breaking down for you, starting with the Battle of Florida with the Lightning and Panthers going head-to-head. Then we have the Detroit Red Wings and Chicago Blackhawks, and, of course, the night game with the Kraken and the Avalanche. 3 games, but 3 games with some, good chance of finding some winners here and some different situations to take a look at. So I look forward to breaking this card down here. Just Carmine and I today on the show to end off the week. And before I start anything, I don't usually like to do this, guys, but I really want to let you guys know about this UFC play I have going. It is a 5% play I have, and I have a massive promo code. I never have done a promo code like this, I don't think, since I've been a part of Wager Talk. You can use the promo code just UFC280, and you will take $25 off this play over at Wager Talk. And guys, this is an early UFC card. It's over in Abu Dhabi, so don't wait until tomorrow to grab this. Grab this play right now. I'm on a 21-9, 5% all sports run. Number 2 UFC handicapper in 2022. 8-2 UFC 5% run, and plus 44 units on UFC moneyline sides year to date. I'm amped up for the card tomorrow. Looking forward to the hockey games tonight. Carmine, you're running hot as well. You have a promo code for us as well. Let's not wait till the end of the show to give these out. Let's hear it, man.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I was just looking at my phone when you were talking about this UFC 5% play. I don't see a text message from you at all. Excuse me. But Andrew, I know you're gonna. We'll talk after the show, and we'll talk soccer for this weekend, which I have a bunch of EPL games, some Serie A games, some Bundesliga games. I got 3 college. Of course, my 5% NFL play, which goes Sunday, and a couple other NFL plays. So it's going to be a busy, hectic weekend, including NHL, of course. Saturday is an absolutely huge slate of games, much like yesterday was. And there's that Carm 30. That one's going to expire soon. So you can get $30 off a 7-day all-access package. Dropping it from $99 down to $69, so $10 a day. And that's going to go right through, obviously, to next week, where there's Tuesday, Wednesday Champions League soccer. So there's just a ton of games, and there's going to be a 5% Champions League game that I'm posting later today. So you want to hop on that one as well. Andrew, look at those games yesterday. Is actually, it was unbelievable. Some of these results we see almost every single night, one big favorite go down. And I'm looking for, it was the Rangers last night. Rangers over the Sharks. The Sharks played a good one last night, win that one 3-2. What was it, in a shootout, I believe? And then our best bets on the show, when we lose them, we talk about them, and when we win, we're gonna discuss them as well too. 10-21. That is the record of teams in the second of a back-to-back after Winnipeg lost in Vegas last night. We gave that one out on the show in regulation time, but 10-21. The next opportunity, there's a couple of them tomorrow, as Colorado will be in Las Vegas playing against the Golden Knights in the second of a back-to-back, and Tampa Bay will be, I believe, in New York. I think they're in New York, but they play the Islanders after playing Florida tonight. So a couple B2B opportunities if you guys want to take advantage of them. And you're going to get good prices on both fades, I believe.
Yeah, great stuff there. I mentioned yesterday that's a great stat to keep track of, because a lot of people say that maybe the back-to-backs don't mean a whole lot. Hey, Carm, you're proving that they really do. And you're picking your spots as well. Shout out to Brian. Brian Leonard cashed his best bet as well, Carm. with the over in the Kings and Penguins game. I had the Penguins as a money line in regulation. I wish they were all like that one, man. The Penguins had a really good bounce back after losing to Montreal, and my best bet was the Devils. So between the three of us, we all had a really good day yesterday, but that's in the past. And we'll get into today's games, but it was a good show yesterday, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw a shout out to our Tuesday regular, Mr. Don Buster, who this was a gutsy call by him because I didn't like the play at all, but he took the Ottawa Senators in essentially a pick'em game against the Washington Capitals. They fell behind 2-0. He had people trolling him, but they came back and won that game. Maybe the guy trolling him was trying to reverse jinx, like where Kelly does it all the time, where she apologizes for a play halfway through the game, and then the game comes back and wins. And she's got more magic with the Kelly reverse mush jinx, whatever you want to call it. But kudos to Don Buster on hitting a 5% play yesterday.
Yeah, great call. And you got to love it when it's, like you said, not just like a minus 200 or something like that. I mean, it was like a pick 'em game, like you said, good odds on that one. And yeah, between Kelly and Dave Koken, with like 10 minutes to go in a game saying like, hey, this big loss, sorry guys. They're really good at it. And if you're going to be a troll, at least troll after the game's over, because you just look bad after you troll, and then you look pretty foolish. But let's get into the Battle of Florida here. The Lightning and the Panthers. Carm, this is, always going to be a good matchup for a very long time, but there's a lot of interesting things to bring up here. So Tampa minus 105, Florida minus 115 at home here. Early in the season, of course, we're still very young. I think most teams have played 3, 4, 5 games. So the Lightning, you're not hearing this incorrectly. They are at the bottom of the Atlantic Division right now. They have a 1-3 record. 10 goals for, 14 goals against. The Panthers are 3-1, 14 goals for, 12 goals against. What are your thoughts overall on this game and this contest here, Carmen? Because I think it's a good one, and there's some good spots to bring up here.
Yeah, it's obviously tough the way that, but Tampa's got so much talent on that team, Andrew. We know they're going to turn around. Again, we talk about, it sounds like a broken record over here in the Bianco household with the overreaction. Let's not overreact. At some point, what we expect to happen in this hockey season will start to happen. Give these teams, 10 to 15 games. Hopefully, some of them don't bury themselves, but Tampa's got more than enough talent to get going here. I'm going to take the same approach, Andrew, that I took with a couple games this past week, one of them being yesterday, where I expect there to be a lot of goals in this game. It might not turn out that the game goes over the total, but I think it's going to be a very action-packed first period. I thought that would be the case in the Minnesota-Vancouver game yesterday. Took the suggested taking the over in that first period. I think I gave that one out to clients as well too. Over 2 plus 105, I believe it was. And there was 4 goals in that first period. There was 2 within the first 8 minutes. So we were pretty much on our way free rolling the rest of the period. Same thing here. The over 2 is plus 209. You don't have to lay that vig. You can get the 2 over 2, get the plus money on it, and just sit back and hope for an action-packed game from the get-go. Florida wants to send Tampa a message. They're kryptonite, it just seems like. For me, it's the only way to go, Andrew, is to take the over in this game. But I'm gonna focus on the first period over 2 plus 109. You can get, and that's my play.
Good stuff, Carmen. You had a great call yesterday with that, and I love that you're looking at the over 2 and not the 1.5 at a juice price. Just long term, it's tough if you lose a few of those, to be laying a price like that. But with the 2, you get a great price, and hey, you were certainly right on with that one yesterday. The first periods, whether you're playing the puck lines or the totals or even first period team totals, it's just another way to find a good bet on spot here. I like what you said there about Florida, how Tampa's kind of had their number, right? They've been the better team in Florida. They've been the team that's always won this head-to-head matchup. They're the team in Florida that's gone to the Cup Finals 3 straight times. So when I looked at this matchup initially, I really wanted to take Florida. But then I look at the standings, one team with a 1-3 record, one team being 3-1. I look at how they've won, how they've lost, and then everything started to stick out to me in favor of Tampa Bay. This to me is where the situational spots all start to stick out, right? That's why I liked Edmonton yesterday. Carolina off to a great start. Edmonton off a loss, playing at home, road trip. There's all kinds of situations that are finally starting to come up. And I think this is a time where we can look at Brandon Montour being out on defense for them. Aaron Ekblad, he's on the IR. Of course, Anthony Duclair is on the IR. The defense already wasn't great for Florida. And now you look at it, and it's really not that great, Carm. And I think Tampa will come in here very hungry and ready to get it done and kind of right some of the wrongs they've had. And even Vasilevsky, let's be honest here, he has not looked like himself. He's still a brick wall, but the bricks just aren't as strong as they were last year and the year before. So I like Tampa here, and I can definitely endorse Carm's play on the first period over and the over in general because there should be some goals in this game. It's always exciting when you have a small slate like this, Carm, and at least you get a good competitive contest like this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think all three games are going to be competitive, even though one of them may have a huge line on it. But this one should be good. Listen, these are, like I said, these are two in the state of Florida, and especially because Tampa Bay is a team that's gone to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 straight years, winning 2 of them. It's like little brother, big brother, right? At some point, little brother is tired of being in the shadow, and they want to go to the forefront. They ended up winning the President's Trophy, and I think there's a bit of, they call it the President's Trophy jinx, where, excuse me, I think you have to go back to, I think it was was it the 2013 season or something, where the President's Trophy winner actually won a cup. They just don't do well. Colorado wins the cup last year, and they led the President's Trophy up until the last week, and then Florida, they went on a 2 or 3 game losing streak. Florida won 2 or 3 in a row and won that. But at some point, they want to come. They just want to beat this Tampa team, and maybe that trade they made in the offseason, bringing in to Chuck, maybe that is to maybe make the team better, to make them a little more physical. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting game. It is only one game in an 82-game season, Andrew, right. And you can't make light of it. But it's the first one between these two, and that's the one where maybe you want to send a message that, hey, this is the way it's going to be every time we play you.
And that's just the thing. Everything you just said there is why I wanted to play Florida. And then I look at those 2 key guys on defense being out, how Tampa Bay's been off to a bad start to their year. It just feels like this game might mean a little bit more to them, but that's just me guessing. That's just me, talking about situations and stuff like that. But I do think I like how you use the little brother and big brother scenario, because it kind of is like that situation. They're trying to be the new best Florida team. I like you said, it's only one game out of 82 games though. So as much as it's going to be a big game, it is just one game.
Yeah, and Andrew, like I said, and we talked about it in the overreaction or whatever, but listen, Tampa Bay, they know as an organization, the players in the organization, they're off to a slow start. They're not happy about it. But listen, they've gone through these cycles throughout the last 3-4 years where, and we talked about it last year during the final month of the season, where they know they're going to make the playoffs. They know their team is built that they can win on the road. They proved it in the NHL playoffs, making it to the Cup, going into Toronto in an important, Game 7 and winning there. This team knows they can win on the road. They know they will make the playoffs at the end of the year. They are not going to panic starting the season slowly. They might not be happy with it, but they're not going to panic. They are an organization that has proven over the years that they are a good one. So there's no panic mode in this team like we would see with some other teams that a lot of is expected of them. They get off to a slow start, and all of a sudden, the fan base turns on them and management. So I'm not worried about Tampa Bay at this point.
I mean, Tampa could start 1-9, and I would still say they're going to have a great year. They're that good. Let's kind of downgrade the level of competition, but talk about a game that still could be a pretty close one. Let's talk about the Wings and the Blackhawks. Of course, 2 teams that are certainly going in different directions. The Red Wings, they're favored as -115. We have the Blackhawks -105. Of course, this is definitely a rivalry that's been around a very long time. Over-under is 6.5, shaded a little bit towards the under in this one. Of course, the Blackhawks, a team that, you know, everyone's writing off. Everyone's thinking will be the bottom feeder of the league, will be a team that gives up plenty of goals. And that could be very true. Look at this Red Wings team, though. You know, picking up Ville Husso in the offseason, a great goaltender, a guy that they wanted to be their clear number one, getting him from St. Louis. And just a team that I think is just being built the right way. The only thing I will say about Detroit is that kind of like Ottawa a little bit in the Atlantic, it seemed like there was a lot of hype about them in the offseason. And I want people to know, when I talk about hype and I talk about, you know, people's perceptions, whenever you hear me saying this stuff, it's not me just talking about, you know, the guy walking down the street. It's me talking about bettors, public bettors, what people are going to be thinking of a team and the action they're going to get in. And I just feel like Detroit might be a little bit, I don't think overrated is the word to use, but a popular bet this season for people at certain prices. But you take a look at Chicago right now, Carm, and they're a team that has been really up and down this season, but they've kind of surprised me how they've hung around in certain games. What about you? I mean, I think this game could be closer than some might think. I actually like the under 6.5 in this one, thinking it could be, hey, two teams that, you know, obviously going in different directions, but still, you know, expected to finish kind of near the bottom of their divisions. They'll show up defensively and play a good, solid game. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I have to agree with you on that one. While I'm likely leaning to taking Detroit in this one, I do like the under. You know, the Hawks have been off 5 days now. The last time they played was the 15th. You know, it's their home opener, I believe. And you look at it, you know, they get blown out. They lose 5-2 in that game against Colorado, and everyone thinks, you know, we know they're going to finish in one of the bottom spots at the end of the season, likely along with the Flyers. I still think, you know, the Flyers are at some point going to lose a bunch of games in a row. But, you know, they go into Vegas and they play a tight one. Vegas that was a 1-0 victory for Vegas on a back-to-back for Chicago after getting blown out. And, you know, and then they go to San Jose and they beat San Jose 5-2. So, they're showing life at the beginning of a season, much like the Flyers have been doing, competing under Tortorella. So I don't expect them to roll over here in their home opener. I think this feels like one of those Detroit 3-2 grinded out type of games that Detroit gets to win. Chicago looks good on home ice. It stays under the total. It may not go that way, but that's the way it feels to me. I can't take the over in this game. I just don't see it as one of those up and down the ice, a lot of goals scored, unless there's a bunch of power plays in the game. But you know, thus far, my feeling is that this game stays under the total. So if it makes my card, I will be on the under in this game.
Hey, maybe that's the puck time consensus play so far. We're on the same page in that one, and I do lean towards the Red Wings with you. To be clear, I do think in this game actually we're getting a pretty reasonable price with them. Carm, do you think that Chicago, come maybe January, February, is the time that we'd really be able to make some money fading them? Because right now, you know, it's like we always say, no team knows that they're bad yet, right? You can't tell anybody they're bad yet. They've only played 4 or 5 games. It's like, you know, you've been talking about overreacting a lot. I think you have to wait until November, December, early January even to really figure out what teams you're ready to just fade and what teams you're ready to, and obviously you want to try and make these assumptions early because you can get better prices. But for right now, I mean, I think if these two teams played again in February, the exact same location, the prices are not equal. The prices aren't what they are right now. I think that this number is generous compared to what we'd get in the same matchup 3 or 4 months from now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, listen, it's all about the culture and in that dressing room. It's all about how the dressing room is. And at the beginning of the season, everyone is happy. The season has started. You're out there. You're competing. You're having a good time. You're getting some results. And as long as that's there, it's good. It's when those results don't come, where you start to lose games and the losses start to build up, where you see that. And we saw it with the Flyers last year, and then they some injuries, and then of course it fell off. I think that's what's going to happen with this Chicago team at some point, is the losses will start to pile up, and then the mindset in the dressing room completely changes. It's kind of like, Andrew, to use an example, is like you're swimming. You're swimming to catch the boat, get back on the boat, and that boat just keeps, no matter how hard you swim, that boat keeps getting farther and farther away. That is the playoffs for some of these teams. That playoff boat is going to get farther and farther away, no matter, and you just, at this point, you're just looking for a lifesaver. And we know the Chicago Blackhawks, it's early in the season, but they're going to be a seller at some point. The guys they have on the team are going to go, Taves, Kane. They won't be around when this team finishes off their season. Where they end up, who knows? But at least for now, they look like they're competing. Their last couple games, they competed. The first one, that was the joy of winning the Stanley Cup for the Colorado, and they came out and they buried them. But they've competed their last couple games. So until they show me that they don't compete, I'm going to be leery of laying a bunch of juice against them. So,
yeah, like you said at the start of the show with the Rangers, and just in general, every single night there seems to be a big upset happening. These big favorites are going down. So, Carmine, I'm taking a trip at the end of November to Boston. Obviously, that's like the closest place to me actually to watch an NHL game, and I've got some friends there. And so the two teams that are in town that weekend to play against the Bruins, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Chicago Blackhawks. So I'm not really getting the best teams to watch. So we decided to choose the Blackhawks just because of Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews and stuff. But and then the football team.
You're getting a discount on the tickets.
Yeah, guess who's in town as far as football? The New York Jets. But they're playing decent football right now. But anyway, I'm looking forward to hopefully going there, and hopefully they keep those guys, at least for another month. I think they'll be sellers probably in January. But let's keep this show on the road with our next game, Seattle and Colorado. Like you mentioned, this is the game of the night where we do have a very highly priced game. It did open up at minus 300. It's now down to 275. Seattle plus 225. If you want the puck line each way, it's minus 110, plus 1.5 or minus 1.5, total at 6. Shaded towards the over. And Carmen, before I throw it to you, I just want to say, I was texting some friends the last Colorado game and just said, why are we not betting the over in every Colorado game? What's wrong with us? And so I'll ask you, is this another game where we can expect goals from both clubs here?
Can we expect goals from both clubs? Is that what you're saying?
What do you think? Yeah, I mean, Colorado's going.
Yeah, I think. I said before the last game, I think where the Kraken played at home against St. Louis, I leaned to the under in that one, thinking that the Kraken would be a little bit better defensively at home, and then they wouldn't score a lot of goals against a Blues team that has a very good defense. And then there was a 5-minute span in the first period where they scored 4 goals. It was 3-1. For the Blues, and at that point, you have 4 goals in a 5-minute span in the first period. Your under 6 is absolutely toast at that point. And it took a while to get there, and that game I think went to OT and finished 4-3. So I think my idea was right, but that 5-minute span completely blew it out of the water. Until I see anything better from this Kraken team, I think you have to take overs with them in games. They're just, I don't know, man. I don't know what is wrong with this team. Goaltending, defense, they're just giving them up. And like you said, the Avs, you got the Avs now coming off a loss with a game up against Vegas. It's not really a sandwich game, but this is one that they want to win. It's going to be, I had someone ask me on Twitter this morning before the show, it looks like it's going to be Georgiev tonight. Is there an injury with Francouz? No, it's, they're playing back-to-back. I have to feel that Francouz will be in goal tomorrow in Vegas. And you might want to give Georgiev the start at home off that loss to Winnipeg, where he didn't look very good either in that game. Give him another start at home, build his confidence, and because these are your sort of 1 and 1A goalies moving forward. We're going to share the starts. So with that said, I think they get him some support today. They score some goals for him. This goes over the total. I wouldn't fault anybody even on taking the puck line with Colorado in this one, Andrew.
And just like people say in the MLB, I've heard Steve Merrill and several other handicappers talk about it with the Dodgers. When they win games, they usually cover the run line. When Colorado wins games, more often than not, they're covering the puck line as well. So I was even looking at the team total, Carm, because I've been checking those out more than I used to.
Yeah.
Minus 175 for the over 3.5. So then you ask yourself, okay, well, if you expect them to get 4 goals, what are the chances they cover the puck line? If they get 4 or 5 goals, I'll say the puck line hits. And I'm not someone that looks at puck lines that often because I've just through my career as being a handicapper, I haven't had the best record with puck lines. Last year was a winning record, but I wanted to mention the Kraken have just had a really, really tough schedule. Like, I don't know what the Kraken management team did to the schedule makers to piss them off in the offseason, Carm, or maybe they have something over them. But the fact of the matter is they played the Kings, Knights, Hurricanes, Blues, now the Avalanche. What the hell is going on here? Why do they play? That's a really, really, really tough stretch. And I don't think this is any type of spot where they're going to be able to bounce back. And Colorado off a loss is usually worth a look.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So their next couple of games after this one is they go to Chicago and play the Blackhawks. And then they are at home against the Buffalo Sabres, who just completed the Alberta double. We were joking around about it. Our producer's like, what the heck is the Alberta double or whatever? But they went into Edmonton, beat Edmonton, and then they go into Calgary last night and beat Calgary 6-3. That was my only NHL loss on the night. I had Calgary in regulation, laying about $1.50 in that one. And the Sabres just continue to surprise. Again, it's likely overreaction. But I do have a futures bet on the Sabres with my clients, the Sabres point total over, because I thought that they would be a much more competitive team this year. Alex Tuch, 3 goals yesterday for him. I'm sure Vegas misses him. But with that said, Andrew.
Are you going to get his jersey, Carm? I think he'd be a good jersey to get.
I may. I'm in the midst of ordering. I am going to the November 20th game in Buffalo, but the football game. I'm going to see the Bills and the Cowboys. My good buddy Rob Braley is getting 4 seats or 6 seats behind, 1 row behind the Cleveland Browns bench, dude.
Wow.
Like Rob is connected, man, to get these tickets. They're like through a company or whatever that he deals with, like 1 row behind the Cleveland bench. And if Joe Ranieri ever actually returns one of my calls, maybe him and his lovely girlfriend, who is a Bills Mafia supporter as well, too, being from the area, will fly up and watch the game.
Yeah,
so I gotta get that dig in, but I am gonna get a Sabres jersey. I have an Eichel one. I don't want to wear an Eichel one to the thing there, but I am gonna get a jersey because I am gonna go see some games this year. I know someone, and the tickets at Sabre games, and more importantly, the beer at Sabre games is more affordable. You go to Toronto, people, and I get a lot of Toronto tickets for free from friends and stuff like that, and clients. A 20-ounce beer at a Toronto game is almost $20 for a beer at a Leafs game. I'm paying Mitch Marner's contract. No, I'm not going to do it, man. I'd rather go to Buffalo and have a $5 King can of beer and enjoy the game.
Yeah, Carm, I'll never forget. I think I'm not sure if it was when I was 18 or whenever it might have been, but I've been to like other NHL arenas before I've actually went to the Bell Center, and when you're 18 in Quebec, that's the legal drinking age. Where I live, it's 19. So I was super excited to be 18. And I was going to the Bell Center with my brother and my father. And so we're at the concessions. I've got like a $20 bill in my hand, or I don't know what I had. But I remember I ordered like 2 beers and a popcorn. Yeah, no, I think I had $40 in my hand. I ordered 2 beers and a popcorn. I told my brother, I was like, it's on me. It's on me. I got it, you know? And they look at me and they're like 55, whatever. And I'm like, what? I ordered 2 beers. Like, I looked over at my dad. I was like, what's going on, man? Like, and he's like, welcome to NHL arenas, dude. Like, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
We went to, we were in Vegas, Andrew, and you took me to the Vegas Golden Knights game was it against Florida or Nashville? Which I saw both. I can't remember which game you took me to because they were all that same week. But you took me to the Florida game, and we're outside of our seats in the concession area, and there's the girl selling the beer, and Andrew had a couple of his friends, so I ordered 4 beers or whatever from the lady, and then she's like, so I hand over the beers to everyone, and she's like, that'll be $96. I'm like, excuse me, what? $96. I'm like, whatever, man. You have to have a cold one when you're at the game. Someone said that I said I'm at the Bills bench, or I'm behind the Browns bench at the Bills Cowboys game. It's the Bills and the Cleveland Browns game on November the 20th. So I'm looking forward to that one and such. This show has been brought to you by some beer company. We've been talking about beer the whole time. Andrew, I just want to quickly note, because someone asked about the Leafs game yesterday. Nick Robertson scores 2 goals, won the game winner in overtime against his brother, Jason Robertson's team, the Dallas Stars. So bragging rights for that family goes to Nick after the first meeting of the season.
That's a pretty cool story. And, you know, I think he's going to be an impressive player as well. Obviously, his brother just signed that contract, Carm, but it took a little bit more time. And now that his brother's made the team and he's made a pretty immediate impact. And those overtime goals, they mean a lot. And they boost, you know, how your team looks at you, how management looks at you, because it's 3-on-3. It's, you know, do or die, next goal win situation. So a great goal there from him. And quick shout out to my Montreal Canadiens for showing the Leafs how to beat the Coyotes last night. What a game from them last night as well. Let's jump into best bets. But before we do that, Carm, just remind everybody at home what you have going this weekend. I just want to say as well, to the free picks section at Wager Talk, we don't do puck time on the weekends, but we do have the free picks page. You can go there and see some stuff that we have up for grabs and stuff like that as well. Carm, what's going on for you, man?
Yeah, so currently 1 play up in the NHL for tonight, and it likely will stay at 1 play. I really like this one. And then, of course, we are into the weekend. 3 college, 4 soccer plays up. There'll be an NHL card for sure on Saturday. And then Sunday, a 5% football game up, along with the rest of my football card and my NHL card. So that Carm 30 promo is still valid. You can get $30 off a 7-day all access package for that one. And then I want to mention next Friday, guys, will be the return of the 6 in 60 segment. We wanted to give it a couple of weeks at the very least before we got into the 6 in 60. So we could see some patterns going, obviously, but the 6 in 60 will return next Friday on the puck time. And then Andrew's popular, I'm leaving it up to him on when he wants to bring it back, the buy and sell with Andrew. But again, I think Andrew sort of feels like me, as you want to sort of see how the first couple of weeks of the NHL season sort of pan out and how they go before you start to decide on who to follow and who to fade. So am I good with that one, Andrew, before I get into my best bet?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we'll get it going probably the week following after that. But I think the 6 in 60 is a great segment, and I think it's awesome because it gets people a chance to look ahead. And of course, Carm, as you always mentioned, the numbers move, and a lot of times we have small slates like today with a 3-game slate. If you go on your DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever you're betting, you're going to already see Saturday odds up right now. So it's important people know. If you take NHL betting serious, you should be looking on Friday night, not just on Saturday afternoon for your bets.
Yeah. So in closing, just before I give you my best bet, 3 people that won the contest, I tweeted out on the Puck Time account. I sent the messages on the sizes. I really only have large and XL, I believe, as the sizes. I'm going to get those out to you guys today after the show. I'm going to ship those out. I'm going to put a contest up for Saturday and give out a couple more Puck Time t-shirts. All I ask, guys, is and gals, when you get these shirts in the mail, take a picture, tweet it out, tag me or tag Puck Time, tag Wager Talk. Just say thanks. It is greatly appreciated. During the NHL playoffs, I gave away an NHL jersey to the winner, a Chicago Blackhawks jersey, and never got that tweet out. It's kind of a bummer, you know what I mean? But it's all I ask. Anyways, Andrew, you talked about this before, and this is my best bet. You said sometimes you can find a good price in a game where a team is a big favorite. And that takes us to the Seattle Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche game. Bounce back opportunity for the Avalanche, losing that game of 4-3 at home to Winnipeg in OT. A big line on them. But you can take the Don Buster first period handicap, Colorado minus half a goal in the first period, and you're going to get plus 120 on your money. This is how you turn a big favorite into a plus money situation. So that's going to be my show best bet, Andrew. Colorado first period minus a half, plus 120.
Love the play, Carm. Best of luck with it, and best of luck this weekend. We're in for an action-packed weekend. There's so many sports going on right now with soccer, football, UFC, hockey, of course. Love that play, and it's just amazing how you can turn the odds from a huge favorite into a really good price there with that one. So, Carm, first period puck line there with the Avalanche. And, guys, I'm on a 4-1 sides run in the NHL. To start off the year, a little update, I'm up 5.8 units, so it hasn't been an unbelievable start to the year, but it's been a pretty decent one, and we're feeling things out so far. I think it's around 56% clip right now for me in the NHL. So we'll try and build on that and slowly take care of the bankroll. And again, that UFC promo, UFC 280, it'll take $25 off my 5% bet tomorrow on one of 21-9 all sports 5% run. So do not miss out on that one. I'm going back to the prop world for my best bet on Puck Time today with Moritz Seider for the Detroit Red Wings. He is 2-1 to his over 2.5 shots on goal prop, which is listed at plus 100 right now. And I think it's important not only to look at the past history for them going over this, but also looking at shot attempts. This guy shoots the puck a lot for a young guy. I mean, he had 10, 6, 7 attempts. So, not every game you're going to see a team blocking a lot of shots like that. And Seider knows how to find the open lanes. And in a matchup like this, where I expect them to kind of, have their way with Chicago's defense, this at plus 100, I feel, is a very strong prop play for tonight, looking at Seider over 2.5 shots on goal. Carmine with Colorado first period minus a half goal at a great plus 120 price. And that will do it for Puck Time for this week. We look forward to seeing you all back in the chat box or back commenting live or after the show is finished. But on behalf of Carmine, Bianco, our producer, Dan, I am Andrew, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Wager Talk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at Wager Talk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to wagertalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.